Having set, clear, measurable goals is one of the key things to do in business. So, my name is Joseph Bruton with Cultivate My Biz. This is day 7, I believe, of 100 of unpacking how to launch your company. Right now, we're in the phase of pre-launch. If you haven't known, we haven't even got to launch yet. But this is all stuff that you're supposed to do in pre-launch. The other videos are just really good to go back on to define what you want to do. Was a plan is fantastic to have. Goals are fantastic to have, but a goal without a plan is merely a wish. So you want clear, measurable goals with whatever you set up. And you're not going to want super easy goals because, it's kind of like going into a weight room and, trying to bench press 5 pounds and be like, why go? You're going to want to at least do it where you struggle a little bit, where you have to build up a little bit, or even if you can't do it, you got a spotter to say, yep, let's go a little lighter. Now we know what to work up to. So even if you don't necessarily hit your goals, you're going to want to set your goals where it's a stretch, but even if you miss, you're still going to be kind of dissatisfied until you actually reach the goal. And that's one thing about business owners. It's kind of like unsatisfactory is almost satisfying in a way, because if you set the goal, you don't hit it, you're just determined to hit it. And it would have hit more if you would have set it high instead of too low, if that makes sense. Anyway, it really depends, because some people say, hey, I got 2 sales in the first 2 weeks. Is that good? It's like, it depends. If you wanted to get 8 sales in your first week, is it good? I don't know. I can't judge that. But what I can is, what was your goal? What are you aiming for? If you aim for something and you miss it, at least you know what to do to correct it. You can look at your processes and systems. So make sure your goals are realistic as well. I mean, look at your area. Is the roofing business per se all based on storms, or is it all based on retail? Is landscaping, are you trying to go after big commercial accounts? You're trying to go after residential. For painting, same thing. Big commercial jobs or residential, or outside or inside. And you would want to know kind of how to set the goals of what's realistic, but not too easy, but not so hard where you constantly feel like a failure all the time. But even if you miss your goals, it's still okay to celebrate. So if your goal was like, listen, in the first 30 days, I want to do 15 sales and I want to profit $50,000. Let's for an example of that. And you didn't get it, so you only made 10,000 instead of 50. You can say, you know what? Heck, it's my first month in business. I did well. I have profit. I'm in profit. It's not 50, it's 10. I want to celebrate it, but what do I need to do to get that 50? Because oftentimes you don't know what you need to adjust until you actually do it. So set goals, set a roadmap on those goals, make sure they're measurable, make sure they're SMART goals. And I'm not here to teach you all about the how to set goals and stuff. That's a whole nother series on just goal setting. But set them in that way, take the action that you need behind it. And one of the most important things in business is sales. I mean, it's not necessarily a revenue. Shouldn't be all revenue based goals. It should be like, okay, if you get 10 leads, how many do you close? What's the average? In cold calling leads, their closing ratio is going to be different than, say, a networks lead, home advisor lead, website lead, organic lead, door knocking, radio, billboard. All of them operate very differently. I'm getting ahead of myself. So if you just write down the goals, and within the goal, it should be a little bit of revenue, sales closing ratio, and when do you want to launch by? Yeah, if you're just starting, if we're in the pre-launch phase, the goals shouldn't necessarily be revenue. It should be, hey, I want to make sure I get everything launched by this date. I want to have a launch party or a ribbon cutting or something by this date and time. And, to have a 30, 60, 90-day goal, to have a first year goal is fine. But sometimes, if you do more and better than what you thought, you're like, man, my goals were kind of low. I'm going to have to rise them up. Challenge yourself. So and they should be business, personal, relationship. I mean, you can set goals for anything and everything. But specifically with business, everything affects everything. If people think they can separate their business out of their personal life, it's not at first, at least. Everything's going to be intertwined, wrapped in together in one way, shape, or another. And that's where the support of whomever it is, and whether it's family, friends, or maybe a coach, maybe a business partner, something that's able to balance you out, speak life into you, and understand that it's going to be a different process, because no matter how much you plan or how much goals you set, you still have to go through it, and you're going to learn along the way. I mean, textbook and learning is okay, but nothing beats pure experience. So sometimes you just have to do it. Don't get caught up in trying to write out every single goal. Just have an outline, have a template, go from there. And after 6 months in business, trust me, you're going to know a lot more than you would have if you would have tried to plan everything out. So again, make sure they're measurable, write some goals, but don't overdo it. So that's day 7. I didn't want to jump on here too long. There'll be more for tomorrow. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Drop a comment, direct message me. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have. All right, we will talk to you soon.